What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Nick with Leverage Media, and today I want to talk to you about how you can target your ideal audience on Facebook if you're running chiropractic ads or content. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be talking strictly to local brick and mortar chiropractors who are looking for a local audience and trying to get people through the doors. If you have an online practice where you can see people nationally or internationally, then obviously your options are going to be much greater. But for a local practice, it's not that you don't have the option to target based on interests or demographics. You do. It's that every layer of targeting that you do, you start to limit the amount of people that you're able to show your content to. So if you are, talking about the United States, and maybe there's 250 million people that are on Facebook, now you can start to narrow that down by women ages 25 to 35 that have this interest or follow this influencer. But when you're talking about a local audience, you're talking about a much smaller pool of people. So take example, or my city for example, and I think it's kind of in the middle of size and demographics and all of that. So I always feel like where I'm at is a pretty good indicator of kind of the average of America. So 110,000 people live in my city. Whenever I look at demographics of any of the cities, when I'm doing strategy sessions with chiropractors, I'll look at their city, how many people live there, like how much is the average income, and how many people are in this segment of the population. And so between the ages of 25 and 65, it's almost always 50% of the total population. So for my town, it's 55,000 people. If you say maybe 80% of those people are active users on Facebook, which may be a little bit high these days, but I'd say that might be in the ballpark, that'd be about 45,000 people. Well, 45,000 people is not a huge amount of people. And especially if you start to slice that away, like if you do just women, now you cut that in half. So now you're down to maybe 20,000 people. Then if you are looking for people 25 to 35, now you're down to maybe 5, 6, 7,000 people. So trying to keep things as broad as possible while still targeting people that can make it into your practice is important for a local business. Now, what are the things that you can use to target your ideal audience? The number one thing that you can use is the content that you are creating. Now, if you're just running a new patient special for chiropractic, you're just going to keep it wide open, and you're going to try to find those people that are actively looking for a chiropractor, which is probably not a big slice of the population. If you are creating content, though, it allows you to really call out people based on conditions that they're dealing with, situations that they're in, types of people they are. If it's relevant to them, then they might consume it, and they might be likely to make it into your practice. So the content, I think, is the best way, keeping the targeting open so that it's within the geographic area that you're trying to pull in patients from, but then letting the content find the people that it's meant to find, whether it's through you pushing it out and putting it in front of them, or people sharing it with them that think they might benefit from it. Now, the two types of targeting that I do recommend in terms of either your advertising or your content, especially your content, because usually with the content, you're spending less money than you would be for the lead generation. And because you can be a little bit more specific, like if it's a pregnancy video, you can be more specific with your targeting to maybe women that are within childbearing age. They are within their childbearing age, and you don't want to show it to men if you're talking about how to have healthy pregnancies. So, because if you're spending $50, $100, you could show it to men if you had a bigger budget, but you're just going to be better off until you've exhausted the women in that audience. You want to make sure that you keep showing it to them. So the two things that I would probably recommend for any of the advertising that you're going to be doing on Facebook would be one, geographic. So obviously, drawing a circle around your office as far out as you think that you'll be able to draw people in. Next would be the age, and then next would be gender. So those allow you to kind of loosely target a bigger audience, but you can get a little bit more specific with it. If you're talking about, injuries in football, obviously you're going to just want to be talking to either women that maybe have kids in high school, or you're going to be talking to men. So there's only a few options that you really have in terms of narrowing those things down, because when you start to get into interest, people that they follow, pages that they like, now you're going to be talking about such a small group of people that it's not going to be worth it for you to spend your money on that. So just be sure that you're using that content to kind of find the people that are meant to see it, and that it can help. And hopefully the content that is included in that video will be the thing that ends up getting them into the practice. So be sure to get your expertise out there, and we'll see you on the next one.